Right. So, welcome. Uh, I put together a cute little PowerPoint for you all. So, I wanted to put it into presentation format, just to give it a little bit more of a professional feel, because um, that seems to be the current motion that the company is moving in. We saw that they took off Crash Bandicoot off the investor relations page, and so I wanted to do just move into a little similar thing just to fit with the theme. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the GameStop, uh, like what to expect with the GameStop for the next like month ish. Um, and yeah, so I'm sorry that it's not going to be as professional, or it's not going to be as silly as you guys were probably hoping for, but I wanted to keep it professional. Um, yeah, so yeah, professional. hmm So moving forward, professional. hmm This is all entertainment. I'm making shit up, finding fucking little words out of the air, and then putting it together in a way that you might understand. It's all made up. Yeah. So this is kind of how I visualize what's been happening. So there are a shit ton of cycles all going on top of each other. All, ooh, I gotta. Yeah, so we're just gonna watch this little video real quick because I think the idea of polyrhythms uh, is really helpful to kind of conceptualize the uh, patterns repeating themselves, because there are so many different cycles all playing on top of each other to cause GameStop to be doing what it's doing. So I wanted to play this video so that you guys can understand in a different way how to conceptualize it.
Polyrhythms might seem complex, but they actually stem from a pretty straightforward idea: contrasting division of the beat. Imagine I divide the beat in twos. I get eighth notes. And also divide the beat in threes to get triplets. If I perform both of these rhythms at the same time, that's a polyrhythm. And polyrhythms feel destabilizing, bubbling with excitement, in a way that standard rhythms can't readily replicate. Now, if you perform eighth notes against 16th notes, say, you don't get a polyrhythm. And that's because the 16th note derives from the eighth note. You just divide the eighth note in two again. So just to make sure that we're clear on what a polyrhythm is, let's take an example. 6 against 2, an eighth note against a sextuplet, isn't a polyrhythm. You just divide the eighth note into 3 pieces, and you've got your sextuplet. The one figure derives from the other. And this figure is easy to perform. Every time you have an eighth note, you evenly space 3 notes within that time. By contrast, something like 5 against 2 is a polyrhythm. You can't multiply 2 by any whole number and get 5. They're 2 fundamentally different subdivisions of the beat. Hint 2, hint 5. And when you put them together, their relationship is complex. And the feeling and effect generated is really interesting. But because the rhythms aren't derived from one another, how do you successfully perform something like this? For many musicians, it's not as straightforward as just practicing the two rhythmic figures apart and then spontaneously being able to do them at the same time. Well, if the non-polyrhythms are easy to perform because you can relate the one figure to the other and both of them to the beat, with polyrhythms, we just need a figure that's common to both and we'll relate our rhythms to that. So let's start with 3 against 2, probably the most common polyrhythm. If we subdivide the beat down to 6, the smallest multiple 3 and 2 have in common, then we have a rhythmic figure that relates to both the 8th note and the triplet. The 8th note occurs every 3 ticks on 1 and 4, and the triplets occur every other tick on 1, 3, and 5. We have a grid that has a fine enough resolution that both of our rhythmic figures will map onto it. So let's try it. So first we establish our beat, slow for now. And now we subdivide it into 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our grid. Now tap with your right hand on 1 and 4. 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4. Against the beat, these are your 8th notes. Now you can let that rest a moment. We're going to get the left hand going on 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Against the beat, these are triplets. Now, let's see if we can do both at the same time. Right hand tapping on 1 and 4, left hand, 1, 3, and 5. Both left, right, left, both left, right, left. Now I'm going to take away the guide, but you keep going. Remember, right hand, 1, 4, 1, 4. Left, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. And together, both left, right, left, both left, right, left. Now I'm going to gradually increase the tempo.
This is gonna be us soon.
Now, let's drop the grid. In case you've lost it. Great. You just performed a polyrhythm.
All right, so you get the general idea of just beats layering on top of each other to make a cohesive song, and that's very similar to what's happening now with the price action. We've had a lot of many cycles involving 35 days, 69 days, fucking 147 days, 33 days. There's so many fucking days and so many fucking numbers, and they're all do just coming to what I like to call the convergence point. But that was from Seher Gold. Oh, there we go. That's the stuff. Right. So this is the general overview of how I see the big cycles grouped up together. And so this is from the signs meme. But basically, I think that the first cycle, the one that lasted all the way from April of 2020, 420, and then all the way to April of 2024, so 424. And in that, the high was, let's just say 125 for the sake of like simplicity, because I mean the real price, I mean, we saw them shits, like some of the fractional shares were like going for like 2K a share or some shit. So I was like, what is the highest price? We have no idea. We have no idea. Um, but the algo keeps doing a thing that I like to call the double bottom. I'm sure that like real technical analysis people have like actual names for this shit, but I'm just making it up because I don't give a fuck. But there's always a double bottom, and then a floor comes from that last one. So between the first sneeze and then last year, the low was 404, which happened in, I don't know, that was that summer of 2020 or some shit. I forget. But then the second low was in February of 2021. So usually right after the first big uh, like squeeze, or like first big like price explosion, when it comes back down, um, usually where that bottom sits is a good indicator for where the actual bottom is. So for that second floor, the one that we had in February, that double bottom then came last year in April of 2024 at 995. So that was the confirmation, the double bottom. And so I think the second cycle, the like the little one, um I should fucking need that. You guys can read. Um we are still waiting on what the new floor is for this last cycle from last year. Um, but basically, I don't know. I know that the algo wants to go down to 1770. Um, Theoretically, it might go down that low, just like by mathematical reasoning, but I don't know if it can, because if it truly is getting to a point where it has no more room to run, how low can it go? I do think the last low that we had of 21 something, um, I don't think that was the lowest low. But we'll get to that in a little bit. All right. So this is kind of like the overview of what I wanted to talk about. Basically, April 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, I'm thinking that's going to be the first bottom. And I don't know if it can go under 20, but I know that it wants to. But then during the April 2nd, 3rd, whatever that bottom day is, about 7 days later, that'll be the second bottom, the confirmation. And then so that first bottom, I think, will be like, it won't go down as low anymore. Um, um, but this is kind of just schizophrenic drawings, I guess. For good to be honest. Oh, this guy's just drawing some magic lines on a chart. Whoa, some of those magic lines have been really fucking right though. Like this red magic fucking line that I drew all the way back in February, like 4th or something like that. Like literally this past week, dude. That's fucking. Give it to me. Come on. Um, but so kind of just in general. Oh fuck, this is hard to read, man. Fucking presentations. I'm glad I'm not graded on this. Oh, so basically, this is where we were, and then we're right here, and then earnings is right here. So I think we're gonna get up to like I don't know, just around 26 by like Tuesday. I don't like we already touched like what 25.75 or something like that in after hours on Friday. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think it might be like barely pushing that uh, by Tuesday, but we'll see. But then for earnings itself, I've been talking about the MOAF for weeks now. The MOAF is the mother of all farts. Basically, the algorithm wants to follow this blue sign line. It wants to follow it. We are in a downtrend, and it needs to complete this cycle until we can finally go boom. That's just the rhythm that it works in. We'll also, I mean, eventually once you like look hard enough, you find that there's just a natural rhythm going about the whole universe, but that's a whole different woo topic that we'll get into later. Um, but yeah, basically we get to earnings, and then there's a chance that all between after hours on Tuesday and then pre-market on Wednesday, there's a chance that we could see the MOAF. And there's also a chance that they literally just like don't do any of that price action during the market hours, where it's literally just like the most egregious crime we've seen thus far. Besides the one where they did it during market hours, that was also egregious. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see. I'm just throwing out 47.11 because I think it's funny to put out large numbers. Because I mean, at the end of the day, this is a comedy. These are just magic lines. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. I'm just making it up. But there could be a MOAF, um, and it would happen right here. But in the same fucking day, even before fucking everything opens, we could drop and do like a little M pattern thing. Um, so that's the MOAF line, and then this is the green line is what I'm expecting. Oh, and then the red line was what I was guessing. Man, I should have explained that in the beginning. Yikes. Oh well. But yeah, basically, I think there's a lot of different ways that earnings can go in terms of price action. But I have a feeling it probably will be volatile. But the theory that another theory I had was just to get my bases covered was what if it doesn't move at all? What if it's like the lowest volume day that we have maybe seen in like I don't know, fuck 5 years or some shit like that? That would just be so funny. Oh man. And then they just that's how they fuck everybody's options. Yeah. So unless you're in the money, you're fucked. I could see that happening. Um, but I'm thinking more it'll be the green line. It'll be like a moderate amount of volatility. And then we might see a spike, kind of like what we saw in February 13th, that after hours one that I called. What's up? What's up? Fucking bangers. Um, oh, oh, so this is my calendar that I'm working with because I'm a very visual person. But for the next, so this was last week, this is this week, and then this is next week. Um, and so we are right here. We saw that beautiful, beautiful price action on Friday, which was also a 333Y day for the Bedtime Stories by Dr. Ruth, Sex for Dummies. Um, so that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. But Monday, I'm expecting green, And then Tuesday, I'm also expecting green. But then once earnings happen in the after hours, like I said, we might see the MOAF. We might see the MOAF. Um, oh, wait, I should go back to the dot. Yeah, the MOAF. But then somewhere around the 31st, because of the Doom 3 tinfoil, I think everything across the markets are going to drop like a fucking log. Yeah, I think this is going to be like oh, they're going to give a name for how bad this Monday is. Um, but I don't know what name it's going to be. Oh shit, I have a chance to coin it right now. Hmm. Oh well, they can come up with a name for it. I haven't got anything good enough. Everything was just Black Monday, Black Monday, Blacky Black Monday. And just imagine a bunch of chickens in suits being Wall Street. Black Monday, Black Monday. Um, yeah. But then that would be the 31st, and then it like chills out in volatility for a little bit, just like finds its fucking consolidation. And then this is going to be just the closest to that line I think we'll ever be again. Because right around this time will be everything's just going to start. I believe the bottom is going to be like the April 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Um, if it's not then I'm very confident that like everything will start to happen on April 21st. But I'll be honest with you, I think it happens before. I think it starts on the 4th, April 4th. Um, but yeah, for April 4th was Ryan Cohen's tweet from last year for so near yet so far. Um, and so that'll be cool. But I also think there might be a blast on 4/1. But these are dates right now that I am paying attention to, like heavily. Um, this, these are all guesses. Okay, just they're the guesses. Take it with a grain of salt. I reserve the right to change these guesses later, because as we get closer to these dates, it becomes a lot more obvious if the tinfoil is fitting or not. I don't have the capacity to explain like my reasoning for all of these dates in depth, but that's what I'm thinking so far for. Oh, okay, yeah, this is a pretty good day. Um, okay. Um, but basically from now until 421, we're going to be still in pretty low volume. Like what we're seeing now, like we're still going to have like high percentage up days and then high percentage down days. But for the most part, the volume is going to be muted, especially in comparison to what it will be later. And one of the biggest reasons that I feel that way. All right, so I have a theory. I know that other people have this theory. I think all the people who have this theory are pretty smart. But I think either Kitty is Greg or like Greg is an AI or something, and they're like there comes some kind of like signal accounts that are connected. But RoaringKitty had this tweet back in 2021 from the one poker movie with the Matt Damon, and lays down a monster. And for the longest time, I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" I don't know. Okay, so I never saw the movie, so I don't really know about it. But then Greg, on that same day, this was before Greg like was as big as Greg was over these last couple of years. Um, so keep that in mind. Like we all thought that he was just like a regular one of us. We were just like, oh, that guy's pretty funny. It's like, what? Um, but thank you for keeping me safe. Click pick for surprise. And then so it's this photo. He's laying down the monster. And then he was like, oh, wait, you're me. So the monster that he laid down was just the truth that he was Greg, or that Greg was Kitty, or something along those lines. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Keith Gill was like, shit, I need an alt account. And I also wouldn't be surprised if that alt account was fucking hysterical. So I don't know, man. Um, but this was my reaction whenever it hit the internet and then other people started posting about it. But yeah, Mr. Bean, dropping the cup. Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. But the reason I wanted to bring that up, because my boy Greg, on the Roaring Kitty Time Magazine one, Greg posts time for high volume at 4:20. Time for high volume. So at 4:20. Or it might be at April. Shit. If everything pops off the 4th, like done deal, because of the so near yet so far, all I'm gonna say is motherfucking tin foil comes in clutch again. What's up, motherfuckers? While you're out here with your numbers and your motherfucking facts and shit, you're too busy in the dust, in the fucking rear view, because motherfucking tinfoil saw that shit before it hit. Oh, wait, you don't know but the numbers, but the numbers. Motherfucking tinfoil, fucking inject that shit. But for real though, if 4-4 is indeed, called it. But I think it'll be a little bit later. But I don't know. I'm like so hyped right now. There's a weird thing happening where everybody's converging on the same fucking points, bro. But yeah, basically until time for high volume, which is either 4 or 4:20, either April 1st or April 20th or April 4th or whatever the fuck. Man, it could be all of them. Ay, ay, ay. But all of it's just gonna be low volume. Low volume. So I gotta bring this to y'all's attention. We have my boy Big Squirt. He put together a chart, and I'm calling it the chart of volatility, or RSI, the relative strength. But basically, if you take the duration of all of Roaring Kitty's 110 memes, the ones from May of last year, and then you chart them out day by day, so then that's going to be 110 days, which equates to January 1st to April 20th, because April 20th is also the 110th day of the year. But if you do 110 memes to represent the approximate volatility of each day, then the chart looks like this. Now, this is not price action. So I don't want you to get caught up by putting this over, like overlaying it on the chart and being like, oh, it didn't match the price. It didn't match the price. I'm like, because it's not the fucking price chart. It's the velocity. It is the volatility. It is the relative strength. This chart is more important than the price chart, because this chart tells us when the options are going to go boomy. This is the overall pattern. You can kind of fractalize it from all different time lengths to some degree. And Roaring Kitty gave it to us via the durations, the length of the videos. Fucking genius. Now, with that said, I have seen the cycles will go through this, like from the beginning, and then get to this boom part right here. Um, but this doesn't have to necessarily happen like this, because during this portion, there's a lot of blending in with this portion from a different cycle or from a new cycle. And then also, it will fall in precedence if there's like a big cycle that is just bigger than this one. Because the 110 days, that's not the biggest cycle that we have. But that's DD for a different. So uh, for the forehead guidance that Ryan Cohen gave us, um, I forget when this tweet was, but it was last year, maybe like October or some shit like that. Um, I had guessed that because he had posted a year before with wrinkles and then looking down, and then that's what ended up happening with the chart. I had thought that because he's looking up this time, that it was going to be this, but going to the upside. And then that would be the next couple of months, like into December. And then lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Tinfoil strikes again. I'm getting so tired of people fucking doubting tinfoil. Fucking nailed it. Did I fucking profit from it? No, because I'm a fucking idiot. There's something here. There's something here, damn it. I just want to, every time somebody's like, oh, what is a tinfoil date ever? Motherfucker, you're not looking in the right place. I'm sorry, but it's there. I am crazy, but I'm not crazy, but I am crazy. Fucking bitches. Fucking bitches. All right. But coming up, what we got in March, I already talked about the MOAF, the mother of all farts. Basically, the farts are just, I don't know if I told you what the farts were, but they are, as we're descending down, I guess, as we're descending down, like along this sign line, there's just going to be poof, poof, along the way because the pressure is just too much. Basically, it's going to be similar to one of these, like on a 213. But that's what a fart is. I think you all should check out Jackie Letitz, his video from, I don't know, maybe like yesterday, 2 days ago or something. But he had a really great analysis that I definitely, yeah, I'm tracking a very similar thing. He comes at it from a more technical and numbers based, but yeah, I like what he's got to say about it. Um, and then what the fuck is this? Presently, I was saying. Oh, talk about the farts. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Damn, I'm smart. Look at that. All right. Oh, did I already talk about the unexpected outcome for earnings, where it basically just doesn't move at all? Yeah, everybody's volatility gets flucked. Yeah. But I do think whatever happens, um, immediately after earnings, they are going to try to just completely suck the volatility out of everything. This is going to be like, I think Thursday is going to be like one of the fucking lowest volume days. Um, and then they're going to make us think that it's going to be good so that we buy in on Friday or something like that. And then I feel like Monday the 31st is and then this is when we're going to go below 2156, which was the current low from 313. But yeah, the MOAF. There might be a fake out squeeze before the real squeeze, and the fake out one is in March, and then we go down in April again, and then May is real MOAS. LOL. Indubitably. Oh, but here was the chart that Jackie Latitz had. I like this chart. He's doing the garlic, and then the round, and then he calls this the fuck you, which, I mean, yeah. I was just confused. Is the fuck you a good or fuck you a bad? That's what I was confused with just reading about it at first, but seeing it on chart format, yeah, okay, I can, yeah. But then April, so 31st, and then April, let's see. Everything's pointing to an April convergence. All my fucking shit is just a. I don't know how else to like talk about it. It's literally boom. What we gotta be looking for, those fucking 5,000 lit market call blocks. I want to see the Chicago Exchange lit the fuck up. That's when we know boys back. I don't know if it can go underneath 20 again, but I think it should go under 20 again. And then he's going to bet on 20 again to fulfill the Run Lola Run storyline. His original bet that he showed us on his YOLO was 120,000 contracts of 20 calls. They were for June 21st, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So just pay attention to that. Yeah, and I showed you. You can go back to the slide with my price chart, because I tried to make it as like, I'm a visual person, so I tried to make it as visual as possible. That's how I see things happening. Keep in mind that's just like a general like shape. I don't put too much emphasis on the price, because I've been terrible at guessing what the fucking price is. My luck has been just being able to figure out like when something's gonna happen, like what day. I think I've been better than most at that. But I'm making this up, man. Shit, dog. Fuck it. Shit, dog. So once we get into like the actual price action, like the MOASS action, we'll rock it sometime in April, and it'll be very quick and very sudden. And then we're gonna start seeing like 10% plus days more often, and the the first day where we get 50% or more. Oh, can't wait. Can't wait. I am so excited because this time we have a much better idea of what to expect this coming time around. Because for me, when RoaringKitty came back last year, I was still trying to figure out how it all worked. But then very careful studying of his memes and trying to think about things from as many different perspectives as I could, and then reading all of the different theories that you guys all have, and then putting it together, distilling it in my own little like butt farm crock pot. Then I've developed my own like understanding of how this shit works. But basically, I think once it fucking starts, what we're going to see is a giant squeeze and then short it back down. And then that's going to be like over 2 days. And then about like 3 weeks ish after that is going to be the next fucking. And then there's just going to be like kind of every 3 weeks reverberating until we get put on blockchain or something like that. But basically, I'm calling it the MOAYYS, the mother of all yo-yo squeezes, because it's just gonna be like that. So basically, this is what it'll look like. Boom, for 2025, and then pew 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 pew. And then this rest of 2025, I think right around here, I'm guessing, I don't know, Ryan Cohen's gonna release some news that's basically like, hey, it's just fucking MOAF time. We'll get to that. I mean, they've already said, oops, MOAS, my bad. Um, but that actually comes before this. Huh. So it might not be. Oh, I guess this might be the 28th. And then this might be the 13th? Or 12th, rather? Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I forgot to fill in this slide. Oh, well. But this one's an important one. Um, so this is the key to the 333Y theory that I've been really accurate on. Um, this is one of the most like key points in this journey that we've had so far, in my opinion. But basically, this little thing here, the 3-year hold 4, it translates to 3 years and 4 months, and that ends up translating to 3.33Y, or 3 years and a third. And basically, if you add that to whatever date that you need to, you can kind of get a rough estimate of what's going to happen then. And so my theory was that the original squeeze, which happened on 128, or original sneeze on 128 21, they basically, I'm guessing that they like, this is just conjecture, putting stuff together. I'm not one of those guys that is really good at digging on like the swaps and stuff like that. So I don't know, but this is just an idea. But basically, my theory is that they bought a 1-year swap on the original sneeze and then just pushed it 1 year. And then after that, they did everything as, or they did a combination of 1 year for like specifically the sneeze. But then all of the obligations that they were doing before that, those were for 3.33 years. So you're basically getting a combination of 3.33 years after the original 2021 date, coinciding with stuff like with January 13th, 21. That coincided with May 13th, 24, which was the day that we saw big boomies last year. But then there's another thing where they pushed it a year and then pushed it 3.33 years. So that's why if you add the new adventure 128.22, if you add 1.33 or 3.33 to that, then you get 528.25, which I don't know what that means, but a new adventure, it sounds like a good thing to me. But 333Y has been pretty reliable. One of the most reliable metrics that I've had thus far. And I've been keeping track, and a lot of them, I would say over 80% of all days where I thought that it was going to be a green day or like a big boom day, it ended up being a green day or a big boom day. Yeah, I've had a lot of success with it. But then also with the low back in September, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of accuracy with it. But the reason that I think the 12th, May 12th, is MOAS is because, oops, MOAS, my bad. Yeah. But it was interesting too, because if you added 3.33Y to this, then that ended up being 9/12/21, and 9/11/21 was the low. So I don't know if that's going to be like the low that we're going to see. I think that was, I forget, too many numbers, but that might be the low that we see. And then so for the next tweet that I see RoaringKitty tweeting on, this is just fun. I think for the fucking million guesses that I've had for when do I think RoaringKitty's gonna tweet? I think I've been right twice out of the million. So I don't know, man. This is just guesses. But because of the Uno Cats tweet, uh, those are pointing to 4.2, 4.9, or 4.16 for me. And then 4.20, I think we might get the Gamer Chairman tweet again, because of the time for high volume, but it's also Easter and also 420 Blaze It. So I don't know. You might just, you know, your little shout. And then for the Seymour Asses video, which came out on the 22nd, the duration of the video was 1 minute. Well, it was actually 1 minute, 1 second. But in my experience uploading videos to Twitter, there is sometimes it adds an extra second for some reason. So like I upload it and then just for whatever reason there's just an extra second, which is super annoying when I'm trying to be, specific and exact. So I'll give it a leeway of he might have just wanted it to be 1 minute, instead of 100, or instead of 1 minute 1 second. Um, and then so if you add 100 days to 122, then it brings you to 5.2. So he might tweet on 5.2 or 5.3, because of that. So those are my guesses for the next time that he's going to tweet, because I do think that he's going to come back. So basically, I have this theory where because there are 110 days between January 1st and April 20th, I figure there's a good chance that every single day stands for one of the memes. And so these days coming up, these are the respective memes to go along with it. And a lot of really like negative themed memes are coming on the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, and the 1st. So I don't know if that means anything, but to me, I'm kind of, maybe. Um, this theory is definitely not as strong as the 333Y, but I don't know, it's fucking man. But I wanted to talk about the emoji timeline because it's fucking important, because it's literally telling us how to play these next couple of weeks and months. But basically, all the FTDs, they work on a 35-day timeline. And I have found that this will correspond to what you can reasonably predict about the price action on a certain day. But you need to get the correct starting point, so the flushed face. So if you pay attention, Ryan Cohen did a flushed face back on October 25th of last year. And that also coincided with the latest cycle that we were in, because literally the following Monday was, yay. Yeah. But then some days, like the handshake and the tent, those days it looks like the price action. So for the handshake day, it's kind of like pew, 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 pew. Like it's the way that a hand shakes. And then for the tent, it's literally like pew, 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 pew. Or it's like pew, 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 pew. Or like it's a very triangular thing. But basically it ends, yeah. And then the cat one, the angry cat one, it's usually a down day from what I've seen. But it's like pew, 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 pew. But yeah, the flush face, I have found that it usually starts on a Friday. So I don't know who this could be helpful for from the analysis, but I'll give that much so far. And then if you go back to my calendar page, you'll be able to see that the emojis like on that day are what I'm guessing. Like that's currently where I have it lined up. But it is definitely not right now. Like it's not, I don't think that it's perfect yet. So take it with a grain of salt. But basically, how to make money from this. I'll get around to that later, I guess. That's a different different thing for a different day. Yeah. So right now, I just want to get the information out, get the tinfoil out, that you guys could figure out how to like take this information and do your own financial investment plan. I think that we should do that anyway, but yeah, definitely. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know. Um, but I think we're quickly getting to a point where the whole options chain is just going to be in the money, and it's just going to be fucking ridiculous. And then there's going to be like some of those days where if you buy a 0 DTE, like theta, where we're going, we don't need theta. Like imagine, I don't know, it would just be fucking nuts, dude. Like going out 100 times in a day. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'll start to put that into stuff later. But I just wanted to get the majority of this information out as quickly as I could. Sorry for taking up. I don't know how long this is gonna be once it's all stitched together, but I'm sure it's a sizable portion. So I appreciate all the attention and the care that you give to my stuff, and I hope it's been helpful. Um, and then before I go, I just want to just say really, really definitively, fuck this clock. I fucking hate this clock. I don't understand it, like at all. I have no fucking clue what to do with this clock. Ryan Cohen, fuck this clock, bro. I'm sorry, man. Everything else has been cool, but no, this clock, man, yo, just gotta go. Gotta go. Or just tell us what the fuck it means, bro. I literally have no fucking, like, I can decode everything else to a certain degree, but this one, I have no fucking clue. But yeah, to summarize, that is the presentation that I have so far for what I expect to be over the next month. If you give me, like, write out your questions and stuff, I'll try to get around to answering them to some timely degree, but no promises. Yeah. Am I missing anything? No, just watch out for this week. I'll give more updates as I fucking see it. Um, but it should be a very, very spicy and fun week ahead. I'm excited. We could be seeing the MOAF. And if we do see the MOAF, then I fucking called it. But if we don't, we'll put another fucking wrong guess into the butt farm pile. We'll sweep it under the rug. It's okay. It's okay. They want to sweep the fucking actual money they owe us under the rug, then I can sweep the times that I'm wrong under the rug. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. But have a beautiful week. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys soon.